clerk please call the roll?
Calling the roll for the Monday, June 24, 2024 Board of Control meeting. It is 11:01 a.m. We have Council Member Meredith Turner. Levine Ross serving as an alternate for Dale Miller.
Present.
Trevor Meckler serving as an alternate for Purnell Jones Jr.
Here.
Mike Dever.
Here.
Catherine Gallagher serving as an alternate for Chris Renee, County Executive.
Here.
Michael Chambers, Fiscal Officer, serving as Chairman.
Here.
Paul Porter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is the review and the approval of the minutes from June 17th. I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved. Any public comment?
No public comment.
Let's go to our first item.
First item, BC 2024-473, Department of Public Works recommending an award on RQ 14301 and submitting a purchase order with Larkwood Green Enterprises LLC, DBA Larkin Greenwood Ford, in the amount not to exceed $113,974.56 for the purchase of 2 replacement new, never titled 2023 Ford Transit 350 passenger vans for use by the Facilities Division.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Pavich, Public Works. Board recommendation, Larkin Greenwood Ford. It's 2 replacement Ford Transit vans. They replace a 2004 and a 2005 van that'll be auctioned off through GovDeals. The procurement platform was a formal bid process. We had 3 bids, and Larkin was the low bidder.
Thank you, Tom. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-474, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to a contract with T&G Flying Club Incorporated for lease of office space and aircraft tie-down fees at the Cuyahoga County Airport Safety Building, Area B, Suites G through L, at 26300 Curtis Wright Parkway, City of Richmond Heights, for the period January 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2024, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2025, to expand the scope of the lease to include 2 storage units in County T Hangar Building effective July 1st, 2024, and for additional revenue in the amount not to exceed $22,173.
Good morning, Board of Control. John Myers with Department of Public Works, seeking authority to amend this lease, which has been in place for several years, and extended for another year period in roughly the amount of $22,000. This is for space at our Cuyahoga County Airport Administrative Offices located at 26300 Curtis Wright Parkway in Richmond Heights.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-475, Department of Public Works, Division of Public Utilities, submitting an amendment to a contract with Go Sustainable Energy LLC for consulting services for utility microgrid development and design, microgrid design assistance in the area zone region for the period April 20th, 2022 through April 20th, 2025, to extend the time period to February 28, 2026, to expand the scope of services to include the Euclid and Brooklyn microgrid projects, grant writing and supportive services, and to replace the insurance requirements effective upon contract signatures of all parties, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $335,000.
Good morning, Matt Ruby, Department of Public Works. Excuse me. So Go Sustainable Energy has been a valued partner of the utility since 2022 when this whole initiative launched. So this second amendment, as stated, is twofold. We received a federal grant from the U.S. Department of Energy, specifically for work in helping doing the build-out, design, and engineering for the Euclid and Brooklyn microgrid projects. So that is the lion's share of this amendment. Acknowledging that that money is restricted specifically for that purpose. We also built in a small pot to be able to engage Go for future grant applications. And the Department of Sustainability was able to isolate some funding in their special revenue to pay for that.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Levine Ross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-476, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to Binder LLC in the amount not to exceed $12,000 for renewal of Gather Content Transform annual subscription for the period May 11, 2024 through May 10, 2025, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Dennis Sullivan, Department of IT. This purchase order is an IT standard. It's a software platform for content management used by our web group for all web existence across the sites. We do have to go back to that 5/11 date for the PO subscription due to its constant use. We ran into a couple of things with the exception, RFP exemption. One is in particular that Gather Content sold to Binder. Binder's a UK existence. They got a account manager liaison in Boston, Massachusetts. Well, also, the secondary thing was the old Gather price was just below the threshold for IG registration. This new amount is over the registration, so that put us behind. Once we got Binder's new pricing schedule, once we got to go ahead with them and negotiated, and then once we realized we had to get them with the new pricing sheets, get them registered, that led us to this point. But they acted in good faith, and we have used without payment.
Thank you, Dennis. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Dever. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-477, Fiscal Office on behalf of the County Executive's Office, recommending an award on RQ 13880 and submitting a contract with Macaulay and Company LLC in the amount not to exceed $375,000 for federal advocacy services for the period July 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2026.
Good morning, Dominique Tatum, Fiscal Department. This is a contract with Macaulay for federal lobbying services. This contract was bid out competitively, and Macaulay was the highest scoring vendor.
Thank you, Dominique. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Dever. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-478, Personnel Review Commission recommending an award on RQ 13869 and submitting a contract with Synap Learning Limited in the amount not to exceed $144,000 for pre-employment testing software and remote proctoring services for the period June 23rd, 2024 through June 22nd, 2027.
Good morning, George Vaughn from the Personnel Review Commission. This is the award that we're recommending as a result of our formal RFP to provide our online pre-employment testing and remote proctoring services. This is to replace the contract that just expired with our previous vendor.
Okay, George, thank you. Are there questions from the board on this particular item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor to approve say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item's approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-479, Court of Common Pleas Juvenile Court Division submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Western Herd LLP in the amount not to exceed $40,000 for legal services and representation in litigations related to labor matters with Laborers Local 860 for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Chair Brown, Juvenile Court. So this is the court's contract to provide legal services for ongoing litigation. There was a pending advance question that I had not submitted an answer for. And as I understand it, the prosecutor's office did indicate via motion to the Court of Common Pleas that they were unable to represent juvenile court in these matters.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Mike Dever. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-480, County Prosecutor submitting an RFP exemption which will result in award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $23,020 for state contract purchase of 12 HPE hard drives and 1 HPE drive enclosure for additional storage capabilities and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Josh Brower with the County Prosecutor's Office. This item represents storage expansion for our on-premise backup system at Blue Bridge. Obviously, we use this system to back up production server data, digital evidence, and user files.
Thank you, Josh. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Mike Dever. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item is approved.
Thank you.
Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-481, Department of Public Safety and Justice Services recommending an award and submitting a contract with Camp Ho Meta Coda Foundation in the amount not to exceed $22,500 for the Camp Hope America Model Program, effective upon signatures of all parties through August 10th, 2024.
Good morning, Mary Beth Vaughn from Public Safety, and with me is Kim Bizup, our Witness Victim Services Manager, and it's her team who actually runs this program. This contract is for a week-long summer camp for children who've been exposed to domestic violence, sexual assault, and/or child abuse. Kim's going to talk.
Yes, just very briefly, I just would like to mention that this camp will be in our 6th year. We are the only camp of this kind in Ohio and in the region. And we started with 22 campers, and this year we'll be expanding to 40.
Wow, very good. Well, thank you both. Are there any questions from the board?
Sure. I have a
Please,
question.
Councilwoman.
How are these campers identified?
So the children are drawn from Frontlines Children Who Witness Violence program and Defending Child. It's really essential that they have some therapeutic work before they engage in a residential camp. For a week.
Okay. Are they transported there or do the family? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, to the Councilwoman's question, we do have another contract pending for the transportation that the county does provide. We will pick them all up at the Frontline office on Sunday, transport them out to the camp, and then pick them back up on Friday.
Friday. Okay. Great. Sounds like fun. Thank you.
Excellent. Any further questions? Seeing none, I will make the motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-482, Department of Health and Human Services, Cuyahoga Job and Family Services, submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in award recommendation to Carasoft Technology Corporation in the amount not to exceed $70,369.60 for a state contract purchase of DocuSign Enterprise Pro for government, 14,000 envelopes for e-signature Enterprise Pro for state and local government licensing and support for the period July 8, 2024 through July 7, 2025, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Ramon Caldas, Health and Human Services on behalf of Cuyahoga Job and Family Services. This item is for DocuSign. It is a digital software platform for electronic signatures. JFS will use this for clients who are applying for public assistance. This will address some of the transportation challenges that their clients face. This will also improve overall efficiency by ensuring that forms come back complete as the software is designed to prevent people from moving forward without filling out all the required fields. Procurement for this was done through a state contract, and this is also now a IT standard.
Thank you, Ramon. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will move forward with a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Paul Porter. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-483, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Homeless Services, submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in award recommendation to Stella Maris Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $265,000 for temporary housing for homeless single adult males in Cuyahoga County with substance abuse issues for the period July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Marcos Cortez with Health and Human Services on behalf of the Office of Homeless Services. Stella Maris provides temporary shelter and recovery supports for homeless men with substance abuse disorder. While staying at Stella Maris, residents have access to intensive outpatient treatment services. Case managers work with residents to develop a plan for housing, sustainable income, and recovery supports upon exit of Stella Maris. This contract is for one more year. We do plan on including this in the master shelter RFQ that we plan to release in the fall of 2024.
Thank you, Marcos. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Mike Dever. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Moving on, please.
Moving on to consent agenda items, BC 2024-484 through BC 2024-485.
Just a couple items here, board members. If there's any questions, feel free. Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve today's consent agenda items as listed. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The items are approved. Moving on to other business.
No other business?
Next week, we're on time, too?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, any public comment?
No public comment?
I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Second by Mike Dever. All in favor of the adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.